So, I'm sure some of you already know this, but it seems like Roberta and Brian, and I'm sure even Mr. Laundrie, they have acquired themselves a pretty good-sized fan base out here in social media world. And that's not really surprising because, any of us that's been in true crime, we all know that happens. You're going to have this side, you're going to have that side, then you're going to have right down the middle, just trying to see both sides. And that's me, of course. I've actually saw that there's many creators that's already put some of this out there. So you may have already saw some of this, and maybe some of it you haven't. So I'm just going to throw out there a little bit of what I've had here for, I don't know, a week or so. Wasn't even going to put it out, but why not? Because very possibly some subscribers here on our channel that are also supporters of the Laundrie family. Now, I'm going to say this, and I mean this. From the beginning, I don't know what these parents have to do with this. I have no clue. My issue with these parents leans more so towards the moral. It's just the moral compass. Even if they have been instructed by their attorney, don't say this, don't say that, don't speak to anyone, I get that, okay? I can get that, even though, whatever, it's not cool, but whatever. If that's what the attorney's telling you to do, I know myself from having attorneys, you got to do what they say. I mean, really, that's why you hire them, right? It's for their advice. So I get that part. Okay, whatever. What I don't get is the coldness. And, I'm sure their attorney wouldn't tell them, don't you dare speak to the Petito family, or don't you dare tell them you're sorry, your heart goes out for them. Don't even tell them you're praying. No, I don't see the attorney saying that. And if it was my attorney that said that, I would definitely be firing that attorney, because you know what? Morals, manners, dignity, and respect goes a long damn way. Period. Whether you know exactly where he is or whether you don't. And just like Gabby's mother said, silence speaks volumes. Silence is deafening. And that's what I've always said. It is deafening. So yeah, for them to not even reach out and give any sort of moral support, then yeah, that's not cool. I don't give a damn what the attorney's saying. Anyway, let's get into this. Okay, let's just start here. Facebook. They actually have a page now dedicated to Free Brian Laundrie. So yeah, there's not that many following it. 430 following it, 196 like it. Of course, I don't have a like there because, yeah, I disagree with this. But yeah, I mean, you can see some of the comments here. They're just, he's innocent until proven guilty, and that is true in America. However, come on, circumstantial evidence does say a lot. And let's be honest, most cases are actually tried and convicted under circumstantial evidence. It's just the way it is. The media and Facebook's already convicted him. There's many, and of course this is obviously the sort of comments you're going to find on a page such as this, right? And I think it's a pretty, new page. Looks like it was probably created September the 20th, so that's going to put it right about a month old. And yeah, so definitely there's already that. And this chick, Brittany Ann Coleman, now I'm not even worried about putting her name out here because believe me, it's everywhere. Literally everywhere. Everybody's already saw it, and you guys may have already saw it, but some of you may not. So, she writes, and this Brittany actually knows the family. Obviously, she's went through it now. No, I've not confirmed it, and no, I have not deep dug into it, but in my opinion, it's pretty obvious. I went and looked at her profile. She just doesn't seem like somebody that would be throwing this stuff out here just because. So I believe she truly does know them, and you can be the judge of character on that yourself. It's not for me to decide, that's for you to decide. But she says she's replying to someone, and she goes on to say Gabby was narcissistic. Brian didn't complain about her. He was always the one jumping through hoops to keep her happy. She was self-proclaimed OCD and the one with clear self-control issues. It was unhealthy for her to be in a relationship with anyone without getting her own mental health issues under control. But Brian loved her and did his best to roll with whatever changing whims. And here she is replying to someone else. She says, I'm afraid he is dead. The evidence may end up looking like it was murder without an explanation. And even if it was an accident, and maybe he knew that and really loved her and could not face another day without her and with the grief and now the media, I wouldn't be surprised if he took his life. And if that happened, we will never know the whole truth. I know I love Roberta, and her faith is very strong, but I don't know how strong Brian's is. And she has a personality to fold under most pressure, and maybe it was too much for him to take. I'm so worried about him and his parents, and the unanswered questions Gabby's family is trying to deal with as it is. Brian's family is, I'm sure, unimaginably worried and under unfathomable stress. And the other girl goes on to reply back to her, saying, after not reporting someone else's child missing when she didn't turn up, my sympathy is minimal that they're now experiencing the same pain they participated in prolonging for someone else. She goes on to say, it's hard too because I know Brian and he's really nice and his mother is an absolute gem. I worked with Roberta and she crocheted me a poncho. She's given me so much advice throughout my time working with her, and we've remained close friends since then, and it breaks my heart to see two families going through such horrible things, and the entire world is gawking and throwing their 2 cents in and making fun of them like we're in elementary school, and nobody taught each other to be kind to one another. I think the hardest thing is all the people acting like they know what happened before any information got out and talking horrible things about Brian and his family. There was another murder not far from there around the same time, but there was no big press on it. What I do know is that Gabby had a laundry list of mental health issues, financial irresponsibility, and other issues, and Brian and his family have been so supportive through the years. She lived in their home rent-free, both with the sister of Brian and with the parents at different times. I spoke with Roberta at length about some of the situations that occurred in the house while they were all living together. It did not sound easy. The fact that people are saying Brian stole her van and used her card when I know he poured in so much of his savings for her to live her dream and to try to make her happy is heartbreaking. He's being treated like scum of the earth. So that's all of that I got, but you get the gist of it, and that pretty much says that a lot, period. Okay, this she posted March the 12th, 2020, which last year, like at the beginning of last year. So that's why I truly believe that this chick is legit, because this was last year, way before any of this ever happened. And yeah, I mean, she didn't just post this yesterday, is what I'm saying. So she posted this when nobody knew these people, or any of us anyway. She posted, Roberta Laundrie is the most kind and wonderful person in the whole world. My 1 in a billion friend handmade this gorgeous and super cozy poncho with a removable cowl neck just for me. I can't thank you enough for such an amazing gift. So many compliments on your craft womanship. And ironically, the splotches of brown you were afraid you might regret seem to be complimented almost as much as the poncho itself, whatever that means. Every time I see it, several times a day, LOL, I put a huge smile on my face, and when I wear it, it gives me a hug full of the love you put into it. I am so blessed to have you in my life. And, of course, here is a photo of her wearing the poncho. It's different, but I do have to say, you know, anyone that crochets, there's a lot of work put into that, and, you know, good job. Okay, moving right on, and seeing that she has actually spoke up and talked about the people that she knows as the Laundries. They're not like the people that we have saw as the Laundries. She talks about them being more good people and everything, and obviously Roberta talked with her a lot, conversed with her a lot, but of course, you know, there again, she never said she spoke to Gabby, only Roberta. So she definitely seen that Roberta had issues with Gabby. So in my opinion, that pretty much tells that Roberta was not a fan of Gabby. And it sounds like she complained a lot about her. But it gets even more deeper than that. Her mom actually had saw, I assume, where people were coming out, because it is true. People went onto her Facebook. I went over there. I looked around because that is the sleuth that I am. I did not comment anywhere because that is not me. But yeah, she had some pretty nasty comments on her Facebook, which I do not agree with at all. If she wants to say her side of the way she sees these people, the Laundries, then she has every right to do that, and people should not attack her for the way she feels or sees things. She only heard Roberta's side. Maybe had she have spoken to Gabby, she may have saw a different side. However, she never said she spoke to Gabby, so she saw and heard one side. She heard it from the side of a lady that she was obviously very close with a long time. So, yeah, obviously she's going to believe her side. Either way, not getting into that part. But when her mom saw that she was being attacked on her Facebook, I guess, it kind of made her mom jump in there. So, here is what her mother had to say in defense of her daughter as well as the Laundries. Okay, now let me say up front here, you guys, there is some things this lady said that I think is very, tacky is the only word I know to say. Especially, September the 29th, when we already knew the outcome of Gabby, that she was deceased. So I think it's very tacky. Why put it out there? Seriously. Why do this? At the same time, do not go to this lady or her daughter's profile and start spewing hate, because what's it going to solve? What's it going to matter? Just don't. I do not agree with things like that. It's completely distasteful, disrespectful. There you go. Just don't do that, okay? I'm bringing this to you guys because, well, hell, every other YouTube creator's done put it out there, and I've been sitting on this a while. But I'm sure we have, as I say, subscribers here on this channel that are also, you know, on the fence. Just don't know what to think about this family. So there you go. I always put things out there for both sides, even the guys on the fence. So she goes on to say, my daughter has been friends with Roberta and the Laundrie family since she and Roberta worked together for Suffolk County, New York. Okay, so that tells you for them working for the county, and it has been said that Brian's mother worked at the district attorney's office, circuit clerk's office, something like that. And I don't know which one, and I don't even know that it's been confirmed, but this lady says that, yeah, they worked together for the county in New York. So that tells me it's something to do with government. I don't know what, but whatever. Okay. They remained friends after the Laundries moved down to Florida years ago. Roberta adored my daughter so much. She wanted my daughter and Brian to get together. My daughter felt he was just too young for her, as he was around only 19 and she was turning 30. So Roberta was already trying to hook Brian up, is all I know to say. So obviously Brian wasn't good at hooking himself up and getting his own girl, so his mom was working on finding him one. I guess somehow, you know, he found one, but Roberta, it just doesn't sound like liked her very much, in my opinion. Life went on. Eventually, Roberta began expressing to my daughter that there were just too many problems with Gabby. So see, there again, even her mom realizes that Roberta was constantly complaining something about Gabby. Now, is the things that Roberta was saying, were they true? I don't know. You don't know. I mean, who knows? We weren't in the house, so I'm not here to judge that, and I'm not going to. I don't know Gabby, and I don't know Roberta. But reading between the lines here, it's pretty obvious Roberta doesn't care for Gabby. Period. I mean, you can see that. There was problems with those two, that's obvious. Not having gainful employment, sleeping all day, drinking, smoking herb, not being grateful for meals, and not helping around the house, etc. I'm not even going to comment on that. My daughter tried being supportive of Roberta, working on having patience and understanding with Gabby. So it sounds like the daughter was even trying to get her to give Gabby a chance. That's what that sounds like to me. Just give her a chance, you know. But obviously it didn't work. Roberta seemed relieved for a little break when they began their van life adventure this past June. Clearly, something went sourly wrong along the way. If anything, I've learned not to jump onto any bandwagons until the truth is revealed. We truly do not know anything yet. There's a lot of circumstantial there, I'm just saying. Roberta has not corresponded back to any of my daughter's texts or messages. I hope that the truth reveals itself sooner or later. But no, there's always more to the story than what the media reports. It's really a tragedy. I'm shocked by the entire story, but more shocked that this is the same family my daughter thought the world of, and now this. None of us, including the media, can really feel any way about it until the truth actually comes out, and it always does. And I agree. It will, eventually. And just to throw this out there, I believe with Roberta trying to hook Brian up with a woman that was more than a decade older than him. Looking at this lady's profile, I see that she's a gardener. She appreciates or possibly even does crafts. You know, just things like an old soul, right? And yeah, she wears her makeup kind of crazy, but whatever. Who cares? Here's the thing. I think Roberta seemed like a mom figure. And I think in Roberta's mind, that's what Brian's going to need. Okay? I think she always had to mama him. I think he was probably more than likely a mama's boy. And that's not even I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying I believe he was. And I believe he was babied a lot. And I believe his mom was looking out for him, thinking that if he got a lady older, like a Susie Homemaker, a Betty Crocker, you know, then she could cater to Brian's little needs and things like that. And she mentions in here that Roberta told her that Gabby and didn't have gainful employment. Well, see, I don't see it that way. At the same time, there again, I didn't live there and I don't know her. But I did see to where Gabby actually worked many jobs. Where is Brian's jobs? He was drawing and trying to, now this was from Brian's mouth himself. He drew and he tried to sell his sketches to make stickers. I believe it was stickers or something like that. And I also saw when he was like a teenager, he worked at some place, rocks, you know, kids can climb up rock walls or whatever it was. That's it. And I heard he worked at Publix for a little while. But we have seen Gabby. She was a pharmacist technician, worked at Publix, worked at McDonald's, that other little restaurant in North Carolina. It seems like she was just working all over the place. And Brian, well, not so much. Not that we have saw. Sleeping all day. Well, maybe she worked night shift. And if she didn't work, and I'm not even trying to make excuses here. I'm just trying to look at every perspective of things, okay? Maybe she slept all day because if she felt like if she walked out into the house, the rest of the family was kind of always judging her or something, because literally it does sound like she was judged a lot. Think about it. Not being grateful for meals. I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. Really, I don't. I just don't even know what to say to that. Like, I don't know. I'm not even going to try. And not helping around the house. Well, that could go either way. Maybe Roberta looked at it as lazy, whatever. But maybe Gabby looked at it was like, well, I tried one time and it wasn't right. I can never do nothing right. Nothing's never good enough. Who knows? We don't know. We weren't there. So this is just kind of the other side of the story. I do see that Roberta spoke out a lot. These people is very defensive of Roberta. As well as Brian, it looks like, but mostly Roberta. And so it sounds like they're good friends with her, and it sounds like Roberta talks an awful hell of a lot about her son. So that's where I'm picking up. He was a big mama's boy. Nowhere in any of this do I see Cassie mentioned, so I believe that she was what we call the black sheep of the family. And again, I could be all wrong on this, but that's the vibes I'm picking up. It's very important to hear both sides, family and friends. And we've gotten very little on the Laundries, you got to admit that. And this is just a start. But these people are, so yeah. But I'm going to cut this off because this is already longer than I wanted it to be. And I got something else coming out for you from the other side. Okay? Alright guys, have a great day, night, evening, wherever you may be. Make sure you drop in the comments below what you think about this. And until next time, this is Unjustified.